Hello, guys, and welcome back. I am so happy to have you in my class as we are discussing a new novel, The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. I love this novel so much. It is amazing because I look at people all the time and I think the exact same things that so many people in our lives are walking paradoxes of themselves. Walking paradoxes of themselves, walking ironies of themselves. They say one thing and do another. They do one thing and say another. Well, this book is all about that. And it is so good. We can begin with chapter 1. Let's dive right in. This is what I want you to focus on as you are reading through chapter 1. Number 1, we do have the theme of an epic journey here. We have a hero, who takes the epic journey. Really what Norton Juster is doing with this novel is he is combining so many genres together. So we have the epic, elements of the epic hero and his epic journey going through the novel. But it's also a coming of age, like a Bildungsroman coming of age story as well. It's very poetic. There's elements of fantasy already emerging. What Norton Juster has done is he has made an intersection of many genres into one story that's easily digestible for a young mind. Okay, so we begin out with Milo being incredibly bored. There once was a boy named Milo who didn't know what to do with himself. Not just sometimes, but always. Right? Wherever he was, he wished he were somewhere else. And when he got there, he wondered why he'd bothered. Nothing really interested him, least of all the things that should have. And since no one bothered to explain otherwise, he regarded the process of seeking knowledge as the greatest waste of time of all. Alright, so he is so bored. Why is he so bored? Well, because society is unimaginative, right? The state of education, school systems are unimaginative. They do not breed creation or imagination. We can infer this from the passages already, that this is going to be thematic or a theme that Juster is exploring. Now we have some really great syntax and diction here. Already in the first story. The syntax really reminds me of Dr. Seuss. Quite a bit. It has sort of back and forth syntactically. Let's look at an example. And he and his unhappy thoughts hurried along, for while he was never anxious to be where he was going, he liked to get there as quickly as possible. It seemed a great wonder that the world, which was so large, could sometimes feel so small and empty. It just has this Dr. Seuss feel to it, syntactically, the way that Juster is comparing ideas and playing around with abstract ideas and concrete ideas syntactically. It's very interesting. We can talk about that. Diction! Let's look at diction. We see that Milo is walking home dejectedly from school. Very good word choice here. He's dejected because he has no imagination. He's incredibly bored. He's rushing home to do nothing because materialistic goods do him no good either. He is not happy about anything. He has no curiosity. He's just walking, not looking up, not looking at anything, just hurrying home to get home to do nothing, right? And these are themes that the author is already setting up. He's so completely bored, he has 0% curiosity. He's living in a complete state of boredom, right? Now, the book does have a very humorous tone, even though it is talking about a serious subject matter. Throughout the passages, you will see so many examples of this humor coming out. For example, this sentence says, he punctuated this last thought with such a deep sigh that a house sparrow, singing nearby, stopped and rushed home to be with his family. So many jokes in here, so funny, but yet he's not happy. So it's a heavy subject matter. The reason why he's not happy. But it's surrounded by a humorous tone, which is great for a young reader. Now, our setting is Dictionopolis, where you can imagine from the root word there, we're going to be talking about words and plays on words and ironies and paradoxes. There will be plenty of room for Juster to be using all types of literary devices. We have a lot of personification and foreshadowing already emerging in these walking contradictions of themselves that will eventually play out as characters in the novel and in Milo's journey. This first chapter is already thematically setting up all this like paradoxical universe and ironies of themselves, walking contradictions that he's about to find in his journey. Time will be a theme. Ask yourself as you're reading, why do we have plenty of it? In what ways could time be considered like a precious commodity, for example? Okay, the text says have your destination in mind. Why does this stand out? When you go through a toll booth, you already know where you're going, right? Well, think about time and destination in mind. How are those related in the novel? What are life's possibilities, for example? All right, now remember this novel does have a very humorous tone, yet a heavy subject matter. It has a lot of foreshadowing already, and it even ends with the question of irony. He says, I do hope this is an interesting game, otherwise the afternoon will be so terribly dull. In between all the foreshadowing, there's so much irony. The question says, beyond what? He asks himself, beyond what? This is something that he'll learn in great depth throughout the novel. Why do I have to have my destination in mind? Beyond what? Okay. I really hope that you enjoy the novel, and be sure to read the passages I've selected to consider as great examples of what we are talking about today. And I look forward to continuing instruction with you guys. If you like the channel, be sure and subscribe and like the video. Okay guys, thanks. Bye.